Every single day, this factory produces thousands of umbrellas. By hand. Not by robots. Not by machines. By human hands, moving in perfect rhythm, step by step, part by part. And today, you're going to watch every single one of those steps. This is how a mass-produced handmade umbrella is born in China. Welcome to Huamei Umbrella Products, a manufacturing facility in China operating 2 full production wings. One dedicated to fabric, one to metal. Together, they produce thousands of umbrellas every single day. The process starts here, with large rolls of tightly wound polyester fabric. Black, navy, gray, and dozens of other colors arrive in bulk rolls, each one containing enough material for hundreds of canopies. Alongside the fabric, coils of thin steel rib wire, black-coated aluminum shaft tubes, and thousands of tiny plastic connectors, springs, and metal clips. Every single component you see in a finished umbrella, it all starts raw, right here. Step 1. The fabric spreading machine. Each roll is fed through a computerized cold knife cutting machine, model KXD12. The rollers pull the fabric evenly across a long precision table, creating a perfectly flat, wrinkle-free surface, ready for cutting. An operator monitors the tension, making sure the layers align with zero tolerance for error. With the fabric in place, the operator activates the computerized cutter. The machine's cold blade slices cleanly through multiple layers simultaneously. No heat, no fraying. In minutes, what was a single continuous roll becomes hundreds of identically sized fabric pieces, stacked and ready. Not everything is automated here. For certain canopy shapes and custom orders, workers use hand-cut wooden templates. These triangular frames, each precisely engineered to the panel's exact proportions, are pressed firmly onto the fabric. The worker traces the outline with practiced speed. One wrong measurement here means a misshapen panel that can't be sewn correctly. Precision at every stage is non-negotiable. Once cut, the panels are sorted into batches by color, size, and umbrella style. This factory produces dozens of umbrella models simultaneously. From compact folding umbrellas to large golf-style canopies, each worker at the sewing stations receives exactly the panels they need for their assigned model. Nothing more, nothing wasted. Now the fabric comes alive. Row after row of industrial sewing machines, running at full speed, stitch the individual triangular panels together one seam at a time. Each umbrella canopy is made up of 8 separate panels. Every seam must be straight, even, and strong enough to withstand heavy rain and wind. Watch the needle. It moves so fast you can barely track it, yet the stitch is perfectly consistent every single time. These workers process hundreds of panels per shift. The sound of the machines never stops. Once the 8 panels are joined, the outer edge of the canopy must be hemmed. A specialized edge binding machine folds a narrow strip of matching fabric precisely over the canopy rim and stitches it in one smooth pass. This hem does 2 things. It seals any raw edges from fraying, and it creates the structural border that the wire rib tips will attach to later. It's a small detail, but it determines the finished look and durability of the entire umbrella. Every umbrella has a single critical point, the very top, where all 8 panels meet. A small circular guide ring is placed at this junction, and the needle stitches around it, locking all 8 seams together at a single anchor point. This tiny, precise stitch is what holds the entire canopy together under pressure. Get it wrong, and the umbrella fails the first time it opens in the wind. With the seams closed, the hem secured, and the top cap stitched, the canopy is complete. At least its fabric part. Thousands of finished canopies accumulate in neat stacks, waiting for the metal frame that will give them shape and structure. While the canopies are being sewn, a completely separate team is building the metal skeleton. Black-coated aluminum shaft tubes are laid out in batches. Each shaft is pre-drilled with precisely positioned holes for the button mechanism and rib connectors. A pneumatic machine winds the coil springs that will power the auto-open function. Hundreds of springs per hour, each one compressed to an exact tension specification. This is one of the most intricate steps in the entire process, and it's done entirely by hand. The auto-open button mechanism consists of a coil spring, 2 tiny metal clips, a plastic housing, and a pin, assembled in a specific sequence. One worker sorts the springs, another fits the clips, another snaps the housing onto the shaft and tests the button with a single press. It clicks and locks, every single one. Because if this mechanism fails on the finished product, the umbrella can't open. With the shaft complete, it's time to build the ribs. 8 wire ribs per umbrella, each one made of thin black lacquered steel, bent to exact curvature specifications. The rib tips are bent into small loops using a press machine. These loops will hold the canopy fabric in place. Each rib is pinned and riveted to the central hub connector using a hammer and steel jig. 1 strike per pin. Hundreds of umbrellas per worker per day. The white cord, the pull string that controls open and close, is threaded through the hollow shaft and tied off at precise lengths. Before any fabric is attached, every completed frame is tested. The worker opens the umbrella. The mechanism clicks into the locked open position. The 8 ribs spread perfectly symmetrically. Then, close. The button is pressed. The runner slides down. The ribs fold flat and compact. Open, close, open, close. If there's any resistance, any wobble, any misalignment, it doesn't leave this table. Now, fabric meets frame. The completed canopy is placed over the open rib skeleton. Each of the 8 wire rib tips is threaded through the small loop at each panel's edge and stitched in place. This is done on a specialized sewing machine, but it still requires a highly skilled human hand guiding the fabric precisely over each sharp rib tip. Workers on the final assembly table open, check, and close each umbrella as they work, feeling for tension, checking panel alignment, making sure every rib sits correctly under its fabric panel. The moment of truth. Each completed umbrella is opened fully and held up to the light. The canopy must dome evenly. The fabric must be taut with no bunching. Every rib must sit flat under its panel. The button must click and hold without slipping. Pass, and it moves to packaging. Fail, and it goes back. In this factory, quality isn't an end-of-line department. It happens at every single workstation, from the first cut of fabric to the final click of the button. From a roll of fabric and a pile of wire, thousands of umbrellas, built by hand every single day. The next time it rains and you reach for your umbrella, you'll know exactly what went into it. If you found this remarkable, subscribe and leave a comment below. What should we go behind the scenes of next? This is the real picture. See you in the next one.